This is KUGAN CASSIUS for iFall TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. Nice top, by the way, Matthew. I've got the black one. With me, I've got Matthew Macklin. We're at the Line of Duty press conference. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I feel good. Good.
Yeah.
Back in a couple of weeks, so I've been training away the last few weeks, and looking forward to getting a win there, and then obviously bouncing from that straight into the training camp for this fight.
Yeah, just talk about that. Obviously, the show in Marbella. Is it the Plaza Hotel?
Yeah, Plaza Hotel, which is up round the corner from the gym. You know, a nice hotel, and it's a dinner show. There's 8 fights on it. You know, all featuring every fight's got an MGM fight involved. So yeah, it's our first show over there. So it was kind of fitting really that I was headlining it, and it suits me from an individual point of view, personal point of view, because I had a good think over after the last night. I had the fight in Birmingham, but if I'm honest, my head wasn't really fully on it at that stage. You know, I come in 11-11, and you know it was an 8-rounder against a pretty sort of low down the card opponent. But you know, it got me a win, and it gave me time really to get my head together. And you know, I know where I need to be. I'm not there yet. I'm not going to get there in 6 weeks, but you know, over 6 months or so, I believe I can challenge for the world title and win a world title. You know, I'm going down to 154 for this fight in Birmingham, not the one in Marbella. That's going to be at 162 pounds, but this one I'll be down at 154. Looks like I could be fighting for an international title as well, so I will have to make that weight. And but I believe that's where probably the future lies. I mean, I've been coming in at 160. Obviously, I've been fighting at 160, but I've been like only 162 the day before. I've only been doing like £2 in water, which, you know, if you speak to anyone in around the boxing trade, people are doing like 8, 9, 10, 12 pounds. I mean, Chavez Jr. is probably doing 15, 16. So I'm not saying I want to do that, but certainly to only do 2, you know, you start to think, geez, I'm probably at the wrong weight here. And you know, I was looking back and sort of reevaluating, reanalysing things, and I was looking at pictures. And when I fought Jamie Moore, that was obviously my last fight at light middle. I was a lot bigger then than I am now. Obviously, I was lifting a lot of weights at that time with Kerry Kays, and you know, since then I've probably been over obsessed with getting down early. I've probably, you know, done a lot of high intensity cardio, which over a period of say 3-4 years has probably into my muscle mass, and you know, also, you know, probably dieting. You could have ate more, and you know, things like that. Where I just think, you know, I've been sort of probably over obsessed with being on the weight so early. I've actually feel like I've shrunk, and so I think actually now I could do light middle a lot easier than what I was doing it when I was boxing at light middle.
You've never fought in Marbella before, have you?
No, this is the first one.
I don't mean that on the streets of Port Banus. I mean like actually in a ring over there.
No, never. I was obviously trained there, but the gym's there, but I've never boxed there. So that was our first show that we've done, and yeah, it's nice to be a part of it. It's nice to be headlining it.
Yeah, I'll be out there for that. So
yeah, good man.
I think a lot of people will be out there for that. I think Paulie Malignaggi is going to be out there.
40 hours. So I think, you know, Darren Barker's going over. Paulie Malignaggi, Brian Rose. I think. Loads of people, loads of fighters are going. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be a who's who. So make sure you bring your camera.
Camera will be with me. October 17th, obviously, Line of Duty. Eglington versus Gavin, which is a very interesting fight in itself. Eddie Hearn put this together late last night. What do you make of this fight, Matthew?
I think it's a great fight. I mean, obviously, it's an interesting fight. You know, you got 2 very different characters, 2 very different styles of fighters at 2 very different stages of the careers. You got, you know, Sam Eglington, 21, young, ambitious, really sort of, you know, coming through. He's on a bit of a roll. He's great momentum. You know, he's never looked as good as he has done in his last couple of fights. His last fight was supposedly going to be a real ding-dong pick-and fight, and he just went out there and took Glenn Foot apart. I think he's got underrated boxing skills, but I don't think that's his standout feature. He's a physically strong, rugged, tough guy that can hit a little, that can, you know, crack a bit at welterweight. So they're probably his main attributes. And then obviously you've got Frankie Gavin, who's, you know, massive, probably one of the best amateurs, if not the best amateur that's ever come out of this country. Very experienced amateur, great pedigree, slick, good skill, southpaw, awkward. You know, won the British title, won the Lonsdale belt outright. Was unsuccessful at European level and world level, but you know, he's at British level he was dominant. So yeah, it's a good fight. It's an interesting fight.
Who's your back?
Look, I think you know, it's hard to go against Frankie Gavin because of his skills and etc. and his experience. But you know, Sam has good momentum, and you know, Frankie's coming off that loss to Kell Brooks. So you wonder how that has affected him psychologically. You know, if I was Sam Eglington, I think this would be the time to get him in the sense that he's coming off that loss. You know, he's changed trainers. He was with Tommy training for years. He had a lot of stability with him. You know, he's trying new things now. If I was Sam Eglington or Sam Eglington's manager trainer, now would be the time for me that I'd want to get Frankie Gavin. I think now I would feel that he is at his most vulnerable.
Obviously, your opponent has been named as Jason Welshborn, who incidentally fought Frankie Gavin a couple of years ago as well. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've boxed at the level I've boxed at middleweight, and like I thought, obviously I've reanalysed things at this stage of my career now. Usually you go up in weight, not down, but I've been making weight so easy. I think it's like, it's nice to make weight and be comfortable and for it not to be a stress, but at the same time, if you're not struggling a little bit, you're probably going to give yourself a disadvantage on the night, and I feel like I've been getting in there, and I haven't, physical strength is a big part of my game, and, my power, but I think it's probably been diluted a little bit up over the years now at middleweight. I think I have lost size, and I've lost a bit of strength in that department. I've probably, there's probably a few factors, probably been a bit over-obsessed with getting down so early, probably overdone the high intensity sort of cardio, fitness, endurance training, and I've neglected the strength training really. So if you put all three together, that's probably where I've lost the muscle mass. And but I think at light middle, so long as I do it properly, which I'm very dedicated and disciplined when it comes to my diet, I think I can. I think that's those attributes will sort of be reborn. I'll be a lot more physically imposing on opponents than I was, say, at middleweight. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
On the same night as this show, Golovkin LEMIEUX over in New York. Just your thoughts about that fight?
I think it's a great fight for a few rounds. I think it's exciting because LEMIEUX is no doubt really dangerous early on. Having said that, he can't back up. I don't think he's got anywhere near the ability or skill set of Golovkin. I mean, I thought I was going to fight him a couple of times. I watched when I fought Alcine, the fight before me. Alcine, he beat LEMIEUX on points. And so I've seen a bit of him, and he's very, very dangerous early on. That quick left hook counter he's got, knock a horse out. But take that away from him, you push him back, it becomes quite ineffective. He's nowhere near the fighter that he is when he's backing you up. And early on, the power seems to leave him after a few rounds. Once that explosiveness leaves him, he doesn't seem to carry the same power. Where for me, Golovkin is the full package. He hits like a mule. He's physically strong. His judge of distance, his timing, his technical ability, his variety, he's the full package, and I think it'd be interesting, exciting, and dangerous because of the anticipation of what could happen. But I think Golovkin takes him out of there 3, 4, 5 rounds.
All right. Well, listen. I think this press conference is just about to start. Just final question I'm going to ask you, Matt. Do you truly believe that you will fight for a world title again in your career?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the offers have already come in. Do you know what I mean? And big fights like with Chavez and Anthony Dural offers because of probably my name value in America and even here and what I have achieved up to now. I don't really need to prove myself in terms of ability and everything. I just kind of need to put some momentum together. And so, I got offered the Chavez fight, and if I took those fights, really, especially about 168 pounds, which I'm only 168 pounds on the night of the fight anyway. So if I took them, I'd be cashing out, which I don't want to cash out. I want to win a world title, and if I didn't feel that I could do that, I would have took those fights. But I do feel I can if I get a bit of momentum. I do believe I'll get the right world title shot, and I don't believe at super middleweight I've no real interest in that because, like I say, I'm only that on the night. But going down to light middle, I think I'll be a real force.
Martin Murray fight out the winner now. He's moved up to super middle.
For now anyway. I mean, you just don't know down the line. But for now, for the foreseeable future, I'm going down. He's going up. So it doesn't look like happening anytime soon.
All right. Well, listen. Best of luck with the rest of your camp, and I will see you out in Marbella.
All right, good man.
Next week.
Cheers.
Looking forward to it.